What's going on, everybody? Timothy Wills here with T Does Entertainment, and yeah, I'm excited today because I'm talking about one of my favorite arcs in Dragon Ball Z, which is the Saiyan arc, the Saiyan saga. I'm gonna cover a lot of my I'm gonna go back to even Dragon Ball to cover the Piccolo Junior arc. I'm gonna go back and watch some stuff from that, and I'm gonna cover a lot of different things. Piccolo Junior, Piccolo Daimao. Them are some of my favorite arcs because they actually had, like I said, they had the tension, they had the emotional trauma, they had all that kind of stuff. Even the Frieza arc. But I'm gonna talk about the good stuff, because I don't want to have a whole channel dedicated to it sucks all the time. I want to have some kind of energy so this is where I got a lot of energy because I actually love the Saiyan saga. I love it. I'm gonna cover all of them, just like the filler arc where Goku had to fight in the Underworld tournament, and I'm gonna cover that one too because I like it. It was very interesting. But anyway, the Saiyan arc. What I found interesting about it is the whole time, all through Dragon Ball. If you go back and watch Dragon Ball, because if you don't know anything about Dragon Ball, if you don't watch Dragon Ball, you're gonna be completely lost. When the Saiyan saga, when you go to the beginning of the Saiyan saga, because it's, the whole thing, Goku, he's never been mentioned to be an alien or any type of thing like that, because you find out at the end of Dragon Ball, and it took me watching. I started out with Z when Goku was training to fight the Saiyans and all that kind of stuff, so I didn't understand what it was talking about. I didn't understand a lot of that stuff. I just followed along because it was a good show. But I didn't really understand how in depth it was until I actually went back and watched Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball started airing on TV on Toonami, and it was actually I didn't really care a lot about it, but it was actually pretty doggone good, and I started keeping track of it, started learning, and saw how he actually met Krillin and the other Z fighters, and how they were enemies at first, and all that kind of stuff, and how they grew together over the years, and they've been friends since they were kids, since they were like 12 and 13 years old, and they're in their 40s and 50s. They all have families now with kids, and some of them grandkids, and it's just and you see everything come together in Dragon Ball. But and that's where a lot of the bulk of Goku's character arc is in Dragon Ball. A lot of his character, he grows into the person he is through Dragon Ball. So that's why a lot of his character hadn't progressed throughout Z. I just didn't want a regression in Super, but it had already progressed to where it was in at the end of Dragon Ball. So he didn't need any more improvements on his character, according to the writers anyway. But let's get into it though. Because you start out with Goku fighting. I mean, he's going to a party. He's meeting Bulma and everybody for the first time in like 5 years, and he has a kid and everything like that. And until Raditz shows up, and that takes a twist on everything. And I like the whole aspect of ominous villain being introduced that's way more powerful than anything that they've ever even encountered on Earth, because the only thing Goku's known, the strongest person Goku's ever seen is Piccolo Junior. But Piccolo, but that's the strongest that he's seen so far is Piccolo. He saw him as a rival, and so when Raditz is way stronger. He one-shots Goku. He literally one-shots Goku. He hit Krillin with his tail. He's this much more powerful than everybody. He's saying, look, you're a Saiyan, and now I want you to you're supposed to be a planet conqueror, and you're supposed to join our crew. You join our crew, I'm going to take your son, because he's, yeah. He was just holding him as hostage to try to get Goku to join or whatever. And hey, that's the part that I kind of, and I didn't see this part. I didn't see the Saiyan saga until later on, because I saw him training to fight Vegeta, and I saw a lot of it. I didn't start watching heavily until the Frieza saga, till he started fighting Captain Ginyu, and after that it would start over again for some reason. Because how it was on Toonami, it was broken down into different seasons and stuff like that. So it would start back over to. I didn't really see it until it actually started back over to the Raditz arc, and it was the Ocean dub. And so I noticed it switched from the Ocean dub to Funimation, like in the middle of the Ginyu saga, Ginyu Force saga. So this how it was on TV, because I had to watch it on TV. But that's when Sean Schemmel, the one with Sean Schemmel, the Funimation dub. But the Raditz, when the whole thing with Raditz, how they had to Piccolo had to come up with a strategy. See, these are the things I missed about Dragon Ball, because Piccolo had to come up with a strategy. Goku and Piccolo had to come up with a strategy, because they couldn't just all out beat Raditz. They didn't just there was no power ups, there was no transformations at the time. They had no hope. They had no chance against Raditz. They had to find a way to make Raditz. They had to come up with some kind of plan to maybe catch him off guard, or kill him, or charge up an attack strong enough to take him down. I like that whole aspect. This overpowering foe, they had no hopes of beating. Goku had no chance. They had no chance whatsoever. I'm telling you, because he was way stronger than both of them. But Goku was determined to save his son, and they had no. And out of all of that, all the effort it took to beat him and take him down. Well, Goku had a good heart. He was one. He got a hold of Raditz's tail, and he wanted to take him down. I mean, he had a hold of Raditz's tail, and Raditz pleaded to his naivete, because he had grown as a character in Dragon Ball, and he was always willing to give people another chance, and he was too forgiving and too trusting. That was actually a weakness in his character. But it wound up actually paving the way for a great series, because if Goku hadn't died, hadn't been willing to give his life and die, he wouldn't have got the training from King Kai, received the Kaioken, the Spirit Bomb, and things like that. But like I said, it led to a lot of other good stuff. So he had to die in the scene. But it was good that the fact that Raditz was so much stronger than them, that's what made it interesting. They had to now it had you wondering, okay, how are they going to beat this guy? How are they going to overpower him if they have no hopes of winning? He's way faster. He's way stronger. He has a lot more experience with key techniques, and he has, he's just overbearing villain. Not only that, his partners are 10 times stronger than him, and they'll be here within a year. When Piccolo used the special beam cannon to kill Raditz, Goku had held him in place. We all know the story, but I'm just telling you the things I like about it. They only had 1 year to prepare. 1 year. So that being said, they got these people that are 10 times stronger than Raditz. He was already overpowered, according to anybody on Earth. So now that makes, and they're coming to get a wish from the Dragon Balls and kill everybody. Cause they're ruthless. Like Vegeta and Nappa back then, they were. And I like Vegeta in this state. Well, I mostly like Vegeta on Namek. I'll get into that in the next video. The fact that and these were actual stakes. This is what I like about. See, this is what I miss, because none of this is in Super. You see what I'm talking about? None of this is in Super. You can't find none of this in Super. There's no tension. There's no stakes. There's no hope for. No hope for you're trying you think you have some hope, and then it's dashed before you, and then you have some more hope, and then it's not. The Saiyan saga is phenomenal. the way they told this story is phenomenal, because you had filler in it, but it was good filler. Like when Gohan had to train with Piccolo, he had him training. He had him surviving in the forest for 6 months, in the wilderness for 6 months by himself. The way he trained Gohan, the way he treated Gohan, he was extremely rough and harsh with Gohan, because hey, Piccolo, he's this evil villain. He's a world conqueror. He's not, he hadn't softened up yet. But over the years, as he got to know Gohan, that's where his character development started. When he was with his training with Gohan, because Gohan the first person that ever saw him as somebody genuine, as somebody, he didn't see him as a monster. He saw him as, hey, you're my friend, you're my best friend. Because that's, so it kind of softened Piccolo up. But when it came to he had trained him, so the Saiyans were actually the most interesting villains next to Frieza in the whole series. Majin Buu was just this crazed, deranged goofball, but the Saiyans, to me, they were more ominous. I like the Saiyan arc more because they were more ominous. They actually had personality. They talked. They sought to destroy. They would look. We're coming. We came for the Dragon Balls. If you don't tell us where they are, we'll kill you. If you do tell us where they are, we'll kill you. Except quicker. So either way, they came to handle business. So that's what and they had no chance. The Z Fighters never had a chance. None of them, not even Goku. And you know why? Because Goku lost that fight. He lost. Outright, he lost to Vegeta the first time. Because Vegeta turned to Ozaru, no one ever had a chance. They never stood a chance. And that's what's beautiful about this arc. But they still found a way to pull it through. And it took all of them to do it. It wasn't Goku time. They had all their hopes in Goku, but it took everyone to do it. That's another aspect I like about the Saiyan saga. It took everyone. Yajirobe had to save the day. Yajirobe, the coward, the one that's always on the run, the one that's just not really gonna fight beside everybody. When the danger comes, he runs. It took him to save the day. And that because if Yajirobe hadn't cut off Vegeta's tail, they'd have been screwed. Because Krillin tried with the Destructo Disc, but he hurt him, of course. And Goku was crippled. He broke every bone in Goku's body. It was over. The fight was done. Goku had lost. There was no hope. And he had some Spirit Bomb energy still left. He used the Spirit Bomb on him. He tried the Spirit Bomb first. He said that's the only thing that could beat Vegeta, which it could have, how strong it was. But Vegeta got wise to what Goku was doing and fired a mouth beam. A lot of stuff. See, I could go into detail I could talk about the good stuff all day long. The Saiyan Saga was phenomenal. The training sequences, the training homages where Krillin, Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, they all trained on Kami's Lookout to get strong enough, somewhere near strong enough to fight the Saiyans, to even just, and they still weren't even close to being compatible. It's a lot of good stuff. How Gohan had to train, how Goku had to train. He was training in the other world for King Kai. They had to earn. It's back when they had to earn their power up. They had to earn their strength. They had to earn everything. The whole training sequence for the Saiyan Saga, because especially when Raditz got killed, he was like, okay, it took all this to beat me. Just think, I got my partners. They 10 times stronger than me, and they headed this way. They'll be here within a year. They're gonna want to make the wish on the Dragon Balls, because my Scouter transmitted everything that's been said. So they're gonna want to make a wish. So they'll be they'll be here within a year. And they way stronger than me. So if you had this much trouble with me, hey, I don't know what to tell you. And that's what made it more interesting. And they got there actually early, and we're anticipating. It was kind of Goku time, but it wasn't as much as it is in Super. They kind of used that trope. They overused it. Even though it was Goku time in the Saiyan saga, he still had to. He still wouldn't have done it without his friends. He still wouldn't have beat Vegeta without Gohan, without Krillin, without Yajirobe. It took Gohan had he accidentally saved the day when he turned into the Ozaru and he fell on top of Vegeta. Vegeta cut his tail off, but he still fell on Vegeta. Everyone had a part in it. Everyone. It took Yajirobe. It took Krillin. He threw the Spirit Bomb, and Gohan had to bounce it off and hit, and it hit Vegeta. Because Goku had to telepathically, hey, look, he told Gohan, look, you're not evil. Just bounce it off. Bounce the Spirit Bomb off you. You could bounce it off and deflect it towards Vegeta. And all these things, it took everything they had. It was no overpowering. Like I compare it to the second time Goku fought Hit, right? Hit had all these different techniques. Goku overpowered him just by brute force. See, I don't like that kind of stuff. I like where they barely, because in Saiyan Saga, they barely scraped by the win. And I'll tell you where all this foolishness started. Even though I like this arc, all the foolishness started in the Frieza Saga. That's why all the crazy transformations, that's why all that stuff started with Frieza. Frieza was the beginning of the end. I'll explain it. I'm going to call it my video too. The Frieza arc, the beginning of the end. Because the Saiyan arc, they had one transformation, Great Ape. And yeah, it was. I kind of like the aspect because that was just one transformation. It wasn't 1,000 of them. It wasn't Ultra Instinct and Ultra Mega Level Super Saiyan and all this other crap. It was just okay, Great Ape. I can deal with one transformation, and it's not it's not crazy, you know. You don't have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, you don't have all that. It's just not, that's not off the charts. So, and it only boosts your power 10 times. So, and you sacrifice your own power to do it if you don't have a full moon. So I can get jiggy with that. That's stuff I can get because it's not a crazy, insane, astronomical level power up that's off the wall and it's immeasurable and all that other crap. I can get jiggy with that. So, like I said, Goku lost this first fight. So the whole rivalry thing with Vegeta, there were a lot of times where Vegeta was stronger. Like in the Cell arc, before Goku went in the time chamber, in the Android saga when he fought the androids, Vegeta was stronger. There were times where Vegeta was stronger than Goku. But anyway, but Goku's never beat Vegeta in a fight. He's never beaten Vegeta. So him surpassing Kakarot and all that stuff, it kind of made sense, but I'm not sure. But like I said, this arc was a masterpiece because of those things, because of the aspects of tension and everyone dying, waiting on Goku to get here. They were waiting on him to show up, and by the time he got there, all his friends were dead. Only one was alive was Krillin, was Kudidin. If you want to do the Japanese thing, Kudidin is but I call him Krillin, of course, because I'm in America. His name's Krillin. But to me, but to show respect to the Japanese dub is Kudidin. Anyway, but I like Krillin's character because he's always one of the. He held it down, and I didn't like when he died in the Frieza saga. I had emotional investment in that part. So that's what that's what I miss in Super. And you're hoping that Goku gets there in time. You're actually you're actually at the edge of your seat, hoping that he shows up in time to fight Vegeta and Nappa, and to save Gohan especially. You're hoping that he makes it. But the part before Goku makes it, they sensed that he was on his way, so they decided they were going to kill everybody before Goku got there, and they Nappa aimed to kill Gohan, and all the time that Piccolo spent with Gohan, training and all that stuff, and that year he spent with Gohan, they had a bond. They had this friend. They managed to I wouldn't say father son, because Gohan loves his father. No matter what people say about how bad of a father Goku is, he's a disaster of a father. Gohan loves his father, and you can say what you want and all that stuff. Gohan loves his father. Just watch the show. I know Toriyama even said that Goku's a bad father. He's a disaster of a father and all that stuff. But just watch the show. Gohan loves Goku. He loves his dad. He just looks up to Mr. Piccolo. He sees Mr. Piccolo as a mentor, as a master, as a trainer. Because you can have a father, and you can also have masters and people you look up to outside of that sphere. And that's all it is. And I think people just over exaggerate when it comes to that. He sees Piccolo as a mentor, as a friend, and and he'll always see Gohan will always see Goku as his father. He'll always have love, respect, and admiration for his father, because he even wanted to dress in the same clothes as him when he fought Majin Buu. He honors his father. He honors his parents. He loves them. So all that talk about him and just like I know Team 4 Star and other people, they make jokes about Gohan hating Goku and all that. None of that's just jokes. That's just stuff that it's really funny. It's incredibly funny because it brings you into reality of how it would be if Gohan actually had a father like him in real life. But according to the anime, yeah, Gohan loved Goku. Gohan loved his dad. He'd do anything to protect him and all of that stuff. They love Goku. Goku is loved by all his friends and everybody, by people that meet him, and even Beerus formed a relationship with Goku. Everybody he meets, he changes them for the better. So that's just what it is. And like I said, that being said, Piccolo, the bond he had with Gohan, and since he had a pure heart just like his father, he sacrificed his life, which the part in Super I hated when they try to do it in Super. They try to just rehash it in Super when it was nowhere near. Just go back and watch it in the Saiyan saga. That's where it came from, and it's nowhere near as impactful because they don't have the tension's not there. Nothing's there. It don't deserve it. I mean, in Resurrection F, there was no tension because you had Goku and everybody. They could just teleport. Everybody could just teleport. But anyway, I'm rambling on into Super. I'm supposed to be talking about the Saiyan saga, Saiyan arc. He gave his life, and it was emotional because Piccolo actually expressed his feelings to Gohan, and that's where the whole emotional thing is. He expressed his feelings to Gohan, told him how he felt. Hey, look, you were the only friend I've ever had. You're the only one that treated me like a friend and talked to me, everybody else treated me like a monster, but you actually showed me love, So that's when Gohan got the idea. He wanted to wish him back, but Krillin had this idea. Krillin had this whole idea. He didn't mention it yet until Vegeta died. Until Vegeta was taken care, not died, but was taken care of. That hey, there might be a way to bring everybody back because the Dragon Balls are on Namek. Namek has to have a set of Dragon Balls. If Kame was from Namek, then if we go to the home planet, maybe they have a set. Maybe we can get to planet Namek and wish everybody back. These are just, the Earth has a set too. We know that, but maybe there's an elder on planet Namek we can go to and wish other people back. And in the scene where Goku let Vegeta go, it was kind of misconstrued in the Funimation dub, in the original Funimation dub. It's kind of like they gave Goku this superhero thing where, hey, just give him a chance to change his life and change his ways. But actually, in the manga, both in the manga and in the Kai dub, he just wanted a rematch with Vegeta. I want to fight this guy again. He was so strong. It was scary. It was fierce. I want to fight him again. I've never fought anybody so powerful. I've never been challenged like this a day. Because Goku's whole mind frame, he was looking for a fight, or looking for a challenge. Because he was the strongest guy on Earth. And he trained his body to his pinnacle. And here comes this guy that's way stronger than him. Because Vegeta in this fight was way stronger than Goku. It took him the Kaioken times 4 to beat Vegeta. The Kaioken times 3, he beat up Vegeta pretty good. But the Kaioken times 4, he had to use that when they did the Kamehameha struggle. He had to do that so he had to push it to 4. And Vegeta actually could have won if he hadn't transformed. Him transforming was his downfall. Because if he stayed in base, he could have whooped down on Goku. Because Goku was already tapped out. His body had already given out. But, you know, it's plot. You have to go with plot. He transformed, and then that's for everybody else to get involved and save the day. You know. But he was in trouble. He wouldn't have won without his friends. Without his friends, Goku would have been screwed. So Goku was the underdog in this fight. He did all that training, and he was still weaker than Vegeta. And, you know, and that's the best Vegeta's ever looked when he was a villain. I hate it. I hate to say it like that, but that's the best he ever looked, because once the Frieza saga starts, he beats a couple of minions, but it's going to be all downhill. But I'm going to give an analytics on that one in the next video. It's not going to be in this one. It's going to be in the next one. But the Saiyan arc, it's one of my favorite. I'm going to break down the Namek and Frieza arc in the next one and talk about my likes, dislikes. The Saiyan arc, I can't say what I dislike about it. Only thing I hate about it is just that they weren't far along enough to have the advanced. You see, look at how the Saiyan saga is animated versus how the Buu saga is animated. I wish it was further along enough. Excuse me, guys. It was further along enough to where the animation matched up with like the Buu saga, with the Buu arc. Because the Saiyan arc animation was kind of, you know, they was just getting started. It wasn't, you could see the improvements. It was a drastic improvement in the Android arc. And it was a lot of improvement in the Frieza arc too. And then it had some drastic improvements in the Android arc. You can see all the detail in the muscles and in the uniforms and all that kind of stuff. You can see a lot of different improvements. But in the Saiyan arc, you could tell the animation was kind of, some of the characters looked really bulky or really wide, or it was just clunky. Other than that, the arc was amazing. The arc was phenomenal. Solid storytelling, the right amount of filler, the right amount of tension, the right amount of plot, and it just didn't, like the fact that it wasn't just Goku time, where they were waiting on Goku to show up, but he still needed their help to win. It took everything to win. It wasn't just an easy win. Goku just comes in and crushes everybody, or comes in and somehow saves the day. No, Goku didn't win. Goku lost. It took Gohan turning into an Ozaru and falling on Vegeta. It took everyone to take this guy down. Because Vegeta wouldn't stop. He kept coming. He would not stop. He kept on coming. He kept coming. He was gonna keep coming until he killed at least one. Until he killed him. But he wouldn't stop. And because even Chris said this guy's a machine. So this is the kind of stuff I like, man. I like this kind of, because you didn't know what was gonna happen. You didn't know which way it was gonna go. You didn't know how it was gonna turn out. You didn't know. You just didn't know. So you had to watch. You had to watch because you wanted to watch because you wanted to know what was gonna happen next episode. And you think Vegeta's dead and he's not, and all this other stuff. He keeps coming back, and it's just that, and that's the right amount of writing. That's the good writing that I'm talking about. You go from Goku being an underdog, him not knowing that he's even a freaking alien, then going to the other world to train with King Kai, get 200 plus years of training in 85 days or whatever, however many days he trained, and being able to actually go toe to toe with an elite. He wasn't as strong as Vegeta, of course. Vegeta was way stronger. That's what intrigued him. That's what made him really want to spare Vegeta's life, to keep training, to and keep going to new heights. That's what inspired him to really just start training, because he felt that Saiyan rush for the first time fighting another Saiyan that was a lot more powerful, and that's what really got him to want to train a lot more, because he wasn't training nearly as hard before Vegeta. Vegeta's the one that actually inspired him to train as hard as he has been training, because he wasn't training that hard. Then he started using gravity training and all that kind of stuff, and that's what kind of made things that's what made things more interesting. However, that's where all the transformation started, and we're gonna get to the Frieza arc. We're gonna get to that one, and that's gonna be next. T-Dubs Entertainment signing out.